In this video, I'm going to show you how you can use ChatGPT to create a word list that you can study in Quizlet. So the first thing we're going to do is get our prompt ready. So I've already written the prompt out, and this is what we're going to be working with. So let's go through this. Look at the following text. Create a table of the 15 most challenging words for ESL students, so English as a Second Language students. Write words in lowercase unless they are proper nouns. So a proper noun is a name of a place or a person, but most of the words that we'll be working with are not proper nouns, so we want them to be in lowercase. Next we have, for each word, provide a simple definition. So we want a simple definition in English that we can understand. Nouns should be in their singular form, so book, not books, and verbs should be in their non-conjugated dictionary form. So we don't want the verbs to be showing any tense, for example. We want them in the dictionary form that we can understand easily. So I'm going to hold Shift and press Return. That gives me a nice space here. And the text I'm going to be working with today is about Buckingham Palace. So I can just paste the text in here. And you can see we've got Buckingham Palace. Again, I can put Shift Return to get a bit of space here just so I can see it. So we've got Buckingham Palace, introduction, history, etc. So let's see what ChatGPT gives us. Okay, so looking at this, it's pretty good. I've got my 15 words. Still some nouns are showing up as plural. We've got gardens, we've got chandeliers, but that's okay. Most of them, it's done a good job. The next thing you're going to do is go over to Quizlet. Quizlet is a free digital flashcard app. I've been using it for many, many years. This is the desktop version. They also have a mobile app. I like creating my lists on the desktop app. I think it's a little bit smoother, so I'll show you what to do. If you have a Gmail account, you can easily create a Quizlet account. You can just log in using your Gmail. And the first thing you're going to do is click on the plus, and I suggest creating a folder. This helps you keep your lists organized. So if we click on folder, we need to give it a title. I'm going to call this title British Culture, because I might make a list of other words related to British culture. Okay, now we're going to add a set. This is a group of words that you're going to study together. So if we click on set, and it says create a new set. So the first thing you need to do is give your set a title. I'm just going to call this one Buckingham Palace. And then I'm going to click on import. So I've got this nice box that I can copy and paste my list into. If I go back to ChatGPT, from here I can just copy up to here, not the top line, just up to here. I'm going to copy this, go back to Quizlet, and then I'm going to paste. And magically you will see that all the words are in here, but importantly down here we can see what the cards are going to look like. So we have monarch, a king or queen who rules a country, residence, a place where someone lives, etc. Okay. As I said, some of these words are still in plural form, so I can change that. I can check that if I want to. So garden, I can change. And I think there's one more down here, chandeliers. I don't need the S in chandeliers. Okay, and that's looking fine. I've got my 15 words with my definition. So if I click import, it asks me to do one more thing, which is choose a language. So you notice I click here, it says choose language. this is in English. This is an English word and an English definition. Okay, and that's looking pretty good. And I can go to the bottom once I've checked everything, and I can click Create. Okay. So that's it. I've got my list here, and immediately I can just start studying it. Okay, so I can go through each word. Monarch, king or queen who rules the country. I can go to the next one here. Residence. Okay, there are other things I can do, such as changing the order. Maybe I want to see the definition first. Okay, so at the moment I had it set as term first. So this is the vocabulary item. Maybe I want to see the definition. So if I do that and go back here, you'll find that what is shown to me first is the definition, and I need to think of the word. So if you want to practice recalling the word from the definition, this is the way that you need to see it. So again, I can just click here. If I want to hear the word spoken, I can press it. I can press this audio button up here. Okay, so that's quite nice. So this can be quite helpful, but perhaps you want the translation of each word into your own language. Maybe that's a good way for you to study. That's easy enough to do. We can just go back to ChatGPT. I have another prompt that I can use here. And back to ChatGPT. And what I want to say is here, create a new table with, for example, the Spanish translation of each word instead of the definition. So I don't want the definition here. I want the translation of each word in Spanish. Okay, so this looks pretty good. I could easily take this into Quizlet again. I'll just show you how to do that. Flashcard set. And I can skip out of here. And I can do Buckingham. Just add that in there. Go back to my list. Again, I'm going to copy up to here. And I'm going to click on import. Here are my words here. So now I have English on one side, Spanish on the other side. Again, I can click import and choose language. This one is English and this one here is Spanish. Okay, and that is done. I'll go through and I'll check everything. Click create, and now I have my list here. Okay, monarch. Okay. So it gives me the words in both languages. That's why it's very important to tell Quizlet which language each word is written in. So as we know, words do not live on their own. Words live in sentences. So perhaps you want an example sentence of each word from your list. So again, we can go back to ChatGPT. I've got the prompt here. Go back to ChatGPT, and what have we got here? Create a new 2-column table. For each word, write a simple sentence in English in one column and write a Spanish translation in the other. Okay? So here we have some sentences that we can work with. And I find sentences are a great way to learn how words are used. Words don't live on their own. So we can take this back to Quizlet. And I'm just going to copy this, go back to Quizlet. I'm going to create a new flashcard set. And I'm going to call this one Sentences, very creatively. Import, and I'm going to paste my sentences in here. Click on import. Again, I need to identify the language being used. It's understood the languages here, so already it's got English for this sentence, and these sentences are in Spanish. So we can click create up here. And again, we've got our list that we can work with. If we go into flashcards, we've got our sentence here. I can listen to the sentence in English.
The monarch lives in Buckingham Palace.
Okay, hopefully you can hear that. If I click over, I can see the sentence written in Spanish. Okay, and again, okay, I can hear the Spanish translation. Now, Quizlet works really well, especially on your smartphone. So, like I said, I like to make my lists on the computer, but I prefer to test myself on my smartphone. So I'm going to show you how that works. So let's have a look at Quizlet on the smartphone. If I go through here, obviously you're going to log in with the same details you used on your computer. And if we scroll down here, we can see the different sets that we've created. So let's have a look at this one. This is just the vocabulary set. You can see all the different words that we were learning. And let's try flashcards. These are different study options. So we have the different words here. And what I like about this is that you can organize the words like you would with real flashcards. So if I touch and hold this, I can move the card. So for example, this word monarch, if I'm not sure about the word, I can move it to this side. Okay, so let's move it to the left. It says still learning. Okay, this next one, maybe I knew this word, I can move it to this side. Okay, so we see on the top left here, we have a one meaning one word that you are still learning, and on the top right we see another one which means there's one word that you have already learned. So this one here, stunning. Okay, maybe I'm happy with this. I know this word. I'm going to move it over to this side. And you're just going to go through the words, thinking about each one as you go, and you can see you slowly get to the end of your list. Okay. 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 And there we are. We're back to the start of our list. And at the bottom here, it says keep reviewing 8 terms. So 8 words that you didn't get right, you can immediately go back and start reviewing. Okay. So you see at the top middle here, it says 1 of 8 because I chose 8 words to study again. If we go back to our main page here, and this time I want to look at the sentences. Okay, so again, I can do, for example, a flashcard system. So here it's given me the sentences in Spanish. I can change that if I go up to this gear icon in the top right, and maybe I want the English first, maybe I want to recall the Spanish. If you're learning English, maybe you want the other language first. And so, for example, I've got the English first here. This house is my official residence. Okay, so if I'm happy with that, I'm going to move it over to the other side. The one piece of advice I would give you with Quizlet is to try to keep your lists organized. That's why I suggested having a folder at the start. So if we go to library, the bottom here, and then at the top we're going to go to folders, we can see there's only one set in this folder. It says Buckingham Palace flashcard set. Okay, Buckingham Palace. So if we go back to our flashcard sets, we can see that the top 2, sentences and Spanish, these are not in the folder. If we want to add these to the folder, we would open the set, and then the 3 dots at the top right, you're going to add to folder. At the moment, we only have one folder. You can see at the bottom, British culture, and that has been added. So if we go back here, folders, we can see we have these two sets in that folder. It just allows you to stay organized. So take some time to learn how to do that. Okay, well, I hope that was useful. A bit of a quick tour of how to use ChatGPT and how to use Quizlet. All of the prompts that I have suggested today, you'll see in the bottom description of this video. If you enjoyed this, please make sure to like and subscribe, and I will see you in the next video.